Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of Waz Speaks. Of course, I'm your host, Big Waz, aka Wosny Lambre. Shouts to everybody joining on YouTube live for the live audience. Shouts to everybody listening on their podcast applications. We appreciate you all. And of course, shouts to my guy John Gervais on the ones and threes, keeping the trains running on time. Um, Lots of stuff in the news with the presidential administration this week. He's in the Middle East visiting the Gulf countries. He got a plane from Qatar. um, has been donated to the department. I think it's the DOD. It got donated to, although I don't think, pretty sure Trump gets to keep it. Um, he said appreciated the gift because Air Force One is old and needed upgrades. Just hilarious, truly hilarious stuff. Visited Saudi Arabia. I think he was in Riyadh. Riding around in a golf court with MBS. This guy, he apparently just loves the Gulf countries, which, like the crazy, insane amount of business dealings between him and his family with all the Gulf countries is kind of crazy, but, it is what it is. We mentioned up here, Jared Kushner got like $2 billion for his fund from the Saudi government as soon as he left the administration, which I mean, when you, you talk about corruption, it's just right there, laying right there for you. But this week, man, I wanted to get into Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson have a new book coming out. Um and it's about the quote unquote cover up by the Biden administration and people in the Democratic Party, but mainly the Biden administration, like covering up the fact that Biden had a bunch of signs that he was cognitively in decline. And it's basically like taking you through a list of different things. Uh and some of it is legitimately, you know, um is legitimately shocking and surprising, and it's absolutely, like, I think people in the Biden administration, in the wider Democratic Party, do need to be taken to task for hiding this guy. And you could bring this up for me, Jerv. Uh and yeah, so they put out an excerpt in the New Yorker how Joe Biden handed the presidency to Donald Trump. At a fateful event last summer, Barack Obama, George Clooney, and others were stunned by Biden's weakness and confusion. Why did he and his advisors decide to conceal his condition from the public and campaign for reelection? And, I'm not going to read it. It's a pretty long ass excerpt, right? George Clooney, like big, like he is a major Democratic Party supporter, just a major liberal. Obviously big Hollywood guy, whatever. Um if you could make that smaller for me, Jerv, that would be cool. Um he's fundraising for Joe Biden, right? And he goes up to Joe Biden to say what up, and Biden straight up doesn't recognize the dude. Never mind that the fundraiser is on Joe Biden's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The fundraiser is happening for the Biden campaign for president. So it's your own fundraiser. George Clooney is one of the main people driving this fundraiser. George Clooney is also one of the most famous people on the planet. So never mind the fact that you're at your own fundraiser for your own campaign. Never mind the fact that this is, you would think a dude showing up to his fundraiser, to a fundraiser on behalf of his own client, is going to know who's throwing it. Add to that, it's George fucking Clooney, okay? Only one of the most famous people of my lifetime, okay? Um, so whatever. He doesn't recognize George Clooney, and the aide has to be like, "Yo, Joe, it's George." He's like, "Oh, hey, George, whatever." So, the excerpt goes into like various whatever backdoor stuff, stuff with Pelosi, blah, 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 blah. And Jake Tapper is taking the Biden administration to task for hiding his cognitive decline. Only there's two problems for Jake Tapper, excuse me. He has two major problems. One, the entire country knew this. Like, nobody needed to talk to Joe Biden's staff to know that this guy was old as fuck and was in decline. Like, it was just obvious. Look at the way the guy walks. Look at how he talks. Like, Barack Obama's helping this guy off stage. Like, this was not a mystery to anybody. This isn't like Watergate, bro. Where Woodward and Bernstein had to like develop like this crazy source, who they codenamed Deep Throat, because there were all these secret things that Nixon was doing that would not have come to public to the light. Like, it wouldn't have been publicized, but for these guys digging and like, this was not a secret. This was not a secret. That's one. That's one. Like, the whole premise of this book is stupid for that reason. And two, Jake Tapper, bro, you were the number one person in quote unquote corporate media pushing, like, literally excoriating every single person who would dare to imply, like, yo, this dude is old as hell and is losing it. Like, Jake, you were the number one person, dude. Like, everybody could see this, and you were the number one person doing it. Like, the Trump lady went on his show. Like, that clip went mega viral, where like she was like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, you're making fun of the president's stutter. Little kids around the world who have stutters, you're gonna make them feel bad." Like, it was insane. He was like, "Sure, the guy's like a little like, physically, he might not be as strong as he was 40 years ago, but like mentally, he's obviously really sharp." And bro, the entire public, the Democratic base, people most dedicated to the Biden fucking campaign working, everybody was like, this guy needs to go. He's done. He's freaking done. Not to mention the fact that this dude was hiding from fucking public view. Like, again, say whatever the hell you want about Donald Trump. I think his presidency is a disaster. I think he's ruining a lot of shit for people with his presidency. However, this motherfucker will get in front of a microphone damn near every single day. Every day, this guy is in front of microphones answering questions from the media, not vetted, not whatever. Again, I'm rarely ever satisfied with the answers, but he's doing it. Bro, just go back into the recesses of your mind. This guy, Joe Biden, was hiding from the public. And it wasn't some phenomenon that happened late into his first term in office. The entire 2020 campaign, bro, this dude barely campaigned. These people ran what I will still consider one of the most cynical campaigns I ever seen in my life, hiding from the public and offering absolutely nothing. Okay? These dudes, like the Super Bowl thing, he got offered a Super Bowl interview. Basically, like, bro, you get to give these people, the American people, like uninterrupted, like, yo, here's my agenda. Here's what I've done for you guys. Here's why you need to be excited about running to those goddamn polls and voting for me again. Passed on it. Okay, like it was just obvious. Wall Street Journal put out basically a well-sourced sort of um insider sourced article talk detailing like, yo, this dude is losing it. He's cooked. Jake Tapper was running cover for these people. And so the problem for this dude and his freaking book, okay, is that either you were too freaking stupid, even with all of your connections and your quote unquote expertise, to realize this on his own. Because the line that he's feeding us right now is like, I was lied to by the Biden administration. I took them at their word. The staffers, I took the staffers at their word, and I just had to believe what they were saying. I have no, I don't have any cognitive skills in order to discern whether a dude who's 88 years old is no longer as sharp as he was 20 freaking years ago. This is the line that he's feeding us. So either this guy was too stupid to do his job and go up on CNN and be like, yo, this dude is cooked. He could not see with his own two eyes, being as close to the action as anybody, knowing people, being there. Did this dude know? Like, he couldn't figure out what tens of millions, not hundreds of millions of Americans already fucking knew from their couches. Okay. This reporter, this journalist, whose job it is to go out and find facts, could not figure this out with all of his connections in Washington, what hundreds of millions of Americans could discern from their couch. It's either that's the truth, or he was running cover for his buddies in the Democratic Party, in the Biden administration specifically. There are no other explanations. That's why this shit is DOA to me. Bro, you either are a complete idiot that you couldn't figure out Joe Biden was cooked, or you're corrupt as fuck and was running cover for the administration. And so when this guy comes out and he's peddling a new book and he's talking about how these people ought to be ashamed of themselves, they hid the fact that the president was cooked. It's like, bro, you have no accountability. There's just, bro, you type in Jake Tapper attacking people for Biden's decline. Just put that in your freaking browser right now, bro. I'm talking about millions of shit will pop up of this guy being completely incredulous that anybody would question it. Then, of course, the debate happens, and it just becomes so like, it's like this guy, they defeated Medicare or Medicaid or whatever the hell this guy said. It was so obvious that this guy was done. And again, this is before we get to the idea that the man with the nuclear codes was sleeping at Bernie's. Like, what does that mean for that office? What does it mean for the credibility gap that the Democrats now face? That for 4 years, these guys pretended what everybody could, like, this is what, like, again, y'all know, I don't have a capacity to be a right winger. I think Republicanism is bullshit. I think it's crap. I think on the whole, like, when they get exactly what they want, normal people's lives are made much worse by their policies. I don't bang with Republicanism. I will never be a right winger. But when people get on their moral high horse about citizens who go out and don't want to vote for the Democratic Party as if like it is so plainly obvious that people should rock with this outfit. I'm sorry, dude. If you take that attitude, you're a freaking moron. You and a lot of times it's like, oh, if you vote Republican, we're the party of smart people. We're the party of the learned people. We're the expert party. We're the blah blah blah. That's kind of the pompous posture that a lot of liberals like to take when describing people that vote for Republicans, when realistically people are voting for two choices. And when you look at one of these choices, these motherfuckers literally are lying to your face every day about a freaking president who's obviously cooked, who's obviously just out on his feet, ruining your credibility. Everybody thinks you're a bunch of fucking phonies who are full of shit, bro. This Biden thing was so damaging. And people like freaking Jake Tapper were right on that train, dude. Lying to people. Bro, lying their tails off to people. Joe Biden was a 25th Amendment candidate, bro. Literally, people should have been, the Congress should have been voting to remove this dude from his seat of power because he was incompetent, bro. And this is before the disaster in Gaza. It comes out that like this Israeli dude was like cabinet member, a government member, Knesset was like, yo, man, we got blessed that Joe Biden was the president on October 7th. Because this dude and his administration never told us no to anything, never asked for a ceasefire, never told us to show any level of restraint, never stepped in front of it. So, like, these people just burn their credibility to the ground. Yes, I think those people should be held accountable. Yes, I think those in leadership, Pelosi included. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, she she circled the wagons and got Biden clipped so fast after the debate. My God, it was so ruthless and whiplash. It was like Jesus Christ. She was like a mob boss with that. Like, yeah, we're whacking this guy. He's getting whacked. Done. She got on the phone with the donors and was like, yo, Joe Biden is finished in this town. Cut it off. Shut off the spigot. Shut off the money spigot for his campaign. He's done. Lo and behold, they got in line. George Clooney writes an op-ed in the New York Times. Shouts to Ezra Klein. He was one of the first big libs to be like, yo, get this guy out of here. Super respected, like centrist Democrat was like, yo, this dude is toast. But yeah, man, Jake Tapper trying to do the okey doke right now with this book. And it's like, oh, all these, it's like, we're so brave. We're so bipartisan and holding them accountable now. It's like, yo, you are full of shit. This takes no courage. These people aren't in power anymore. They can't do shit for you anymore. If anything, you're a spineless, gutless bastard. You're turning your back on your peoples right now. If anything, you did nothing when it was important to step up. You're a freaking coward, bro. Zero credibility, bro. And so, yeah, I think it is like, I'm sorry, that George Clooney shit, like not recognizing George Clooney at your own campaign fundraiser that he's throwing for you. Yeah, that. I got the belly laughs out of that when I read that for the first time. But yeah, Jake Tapper's a clown. And all the people who ran interference are clowns. And like the Democrats, I remember the one day when we had it. I don't know where it's at now. I don't know what the latest polling is at, but they had a 27% approval rating, like 27%. And people really, and they're wondering why. They're like, oh, it's because of the trans people. Oh, it's because of wokeness. We did all the woke stuff, and people they hated it. No, it's because you guys are fucking phony and liars, bro. And you don't deliver on your promises. And you pretended that Joe Biden was the best president ever when the dude was literally a zombie. You're done. That's why. That's why you're getting cooked right now. You're being handed, I mean, a disaster of an administration on a silver platter. My God, is this just gross? his big old my big beautiful bill, Trump is about to just pass like all these insane tax cuts and cut people's Medicaid off and like cut off poor people and working people's health care. Like this get the Elon thing. I mean the tariffs. Like we're talking about you guys are getting handed a disaster on a planet. So many places to attack these clowns in the office of the presidency right now. But like to sit and pretend, man, that you don't understand why these people have no credibility with the public, bro. Come on, man. Give me a break, bruh. Um, of course, a lot of the, I guess, for whatever reason, like pretty much all the people in Obama, from Obama world, from the Pod Save guys to people like David Plouffe, who took over Kamala's campaign, to all those other folks, like, I guess they never liked Biden and hated this dude from the start. Like his ego and his just like, just a insanely egotistical dude Biden is. They've been all too happy to throw Joe Biden directly under the bus and smash this dude in stuff in Jake Tapper's book. Um, at the time when it came out, when George Clooney did what he did, like all of the like Politico and Axios and all of those like DC insider type reporters were like, yeah, Obama's gave this to go ahead. Obama himself doesn't rock with Joe Biden and what he did and all of that stuff. They absolutely cratered his presidential campaign in 2016. He wanted to run, but I guess Obama and them had promised Hillary the scrub campaign that she ran and the scrub candidate that she was. No, it's got to be Hillary. So they basically blocked Joe Biden from running. They only threw in with him because they just hate Bernie. They hate the left so freaking much. And so they were like, wow, Bernie's winning right now. Like, all right, fuck it. I guess we'll get behind Joe because we're damn sure not going to get behind no Bernie Sanders. We're damn sure not going to get behind populism and working class politics. Fuck that. Um, so yeah, I guess that like sort of soap opera element is kind of fascinating, right? Like the just cutthroat nature of these DC types. I guess that is fascinating. But yeah, Jake Tapper, bro, positioning himself as some kind of journalistic hero of the American people because he's now taking the failed Biden administration and campaign to task while these guys are as irrelevant and unimportant as they've ever been. Like that just grinded my gears. So I had to speak my mind on that. Um Anyway, yeah, go read that excerpt in the New Yorker. I think it's very engrossing. Like it's a dope like drop you in the middle of something and you feel like you're there. Like it's a really good writing and journalism for what it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm just not gonna fall for the okey doke and pretend like Jake Tapper gives a damn about us. And that he's not just straight up trying to launder his own horrible reputation right now. Like CNN, MSNBC, the whole cable news model is a dying one. And I'm not gonna lie, I will not be sad to see it go. Um, Obviously, like I'm biased, but I do think you guys should be listening to stuff like TYT, stuff like Breaking Points, Majority Report, uh, even a centrist like Tim Miller, the Bulwark or whatever, stuff like that. Um, I think you guys would be much better off consuming that news. And yeah, you can read the New York Times, read Politico, you know what I mean? That stuff is like super like access driven. So you need to read that stuff with a grain of salt. Like, yes, they have access, but like they have access. So they're like incentivized not to ever burn the people who they're close to in these powerful ass administrations. Um, but like CNN and MSNBC, that shit could die tomorrow and none of us would be worse off. None of us, bro. They stink. Oh my God, do they stink? And Jake Tapper's bro. He's the mascot for corporate media and the news that they do. Just horrible, bro. Anyway, that's our show for today. Make sure you become a Patreon, patreon.com /Count the Dings if you have it in you. It's a cup of coffee per month to aid us in providing you with this Count the Dings content, man. Once again, shout out to my guy John Gervais on the ones and threes. We will see you guys next week. Peace out.